I had taken a huge risk, investing $750,000, my entire life savings, into an abandoned ranch. The land was rough, overgrown, and seemed forgotten by the world, but I saw its potential. I poured my energy into clearing brush, repairing fences, and building basic infrastructure, dreaming of a self-sustaining homestead. Little did I know the HOA had other plans. Word quickly spread through the neighborhood that a newcomer was trying to establish himself on land that, according to them, should be under their influence. Karen, of course, was at the forefront. Soon, notices appeared around my property claiming that I must join the HOA immediately, or face fines, penalties, and legal action. I read the notices carefully. The HOA had no jurisdiction over my property. Legally, it was entirely separate, but they were hoping intimidation and bureaucratic pressure would force me into submission. They hadn't counted on me. I began documenting everything. Each notice was photographed, time-stamped, and cross-referenced with property deeds proving my full ownership. Cameras recorded anyone who approached my land. I wanted to be prepared, fully, for whatever chaos they tried to stir. The first attempt came a week later. Karen showed up with 2 other HOA members, demanding I sign forms to join. She waved her phone, threatening fines and legal action. I met her calmly, standing on the cleared section of my ranch, surveying the land I had worked tirelessly to reclaim. "Karen," I said, my tone even, "this property is mine. You have no authority here. Any attempt to enforce these so-called rules will be treated as trespassing." Her face twisted in fury. You can't. You don't know what you're dealing with." I smiled, unbothered. "Actually, I do. I've studied the deeds, the boundaries, and the law, and I am fully prepared to defend my investment and my property." Karen's next move was desperate. She tried sending letters, hiring inspectors, and even mobilizing a few neighbors to pressure me into submission. But each time I countered calmly, legally, and decisively. When an inspector arrived unannounced, I provided them with property deeds, records of ownership, and clear evidence that no HOA mandate applied. The inspector left, apologizing for the inconvenience. Seeing her repeated failures, Karen escalated. She called the police, claiming harassment and illegal occupation. I handed over all documentation, including photos, videos, and prior correspondence. The officers quickly confirmed that my ownership was lawful and that Karen's threats held no weight. To secure my ranch further, I installed fencing, gates, and signs, making it clear, private property unauthorized HOA actions will be prosecuted. I even added cameras with live feeds, ensuring that any attempt to intimidate, trespass, or seize land would be fully documented. Karen attempted one last intimidation, showing up in person with a small entourage. But this time, Grandpa, my retired sheriff and ally, was there. The sight of his uniform, his badge, and his calm authority immediately diffused the situation. Karen's threats fell silent, and her entourage realized they were on the wrong side of the law. By the end of the month, my ranch was fully secured. The HOA had no leverage, and Karen had been publicly humiliated. My investment, my dreams, and my life savings were safe. The abandoned ranch was no longer forgotten. It was mine, thriving under my care, and no amount of HOA bullying could change that. As I walked across the property, inspecting fences and livestock pens, I couldn't help but smile. Risk, preparation, and legal knowledge had turned $750,000 of potential loss into a triumph. Karen had tried intimidation, bullying, and coercion, but the law and my determination had won. My ranch, my rules, my life, fully intact.